Good morning, church family. Pastor David here. And as we are on this holy week, I wanted to come to you each morning and bring a devotion from God's Word from the last week of Jesus' life. My personal Bible study this year has been focused on the Gospels, and I've spent the last few weeks specifically looking at this last week of Jesus' life. And I've spent a lot of time in this Gospel of Luke. And we saw yesterday in Luke chapter 19, the triumphal entry of Jesus. He's coming into Jerusalem, and his disciples are there, recognizing that he is the Messiah, coming to the holy city of God and rejoicing in him. But also mixed in with those disciples, there are those religious leaders, those Pharisees who deny that he is the Messiah, and they're discouraging others from worshiping him. As we continue on his journey, we find in chapter 20 that he's in the temple, and these religious leaders are there again. And in verse 2 of chapter 20, they are demanding from him to know where he gets this authority, where he has the right to say these things and to do these things. And they say, tell us by what authority you do these things, or who it is that gave you this authority. They've seen his miracles. They're hearing his teaching. They know that he's done great things, but they want to know, how is he doing this? Is this of God? Is this of Satan? Is this some trick? And they're undermining his authority, or that's their goal. But Jesus comes back, and as Jesus so often does, he turns their question back on them with another question, asking about John the Baptist, who they all acclaimed. They can't come up with an answer that satisfies them. And so they come and they say that they can't answer it. And so Jesus says, neither will I tell you by what authority I do these things. And as I think about Jesus responding to their lack of faith, questioning his authority, I wonder, how often do I question Jesus' authority in my life? How often does Jesus tell me to do something that I don't want to do? Or does he tell me not to do something that I just really want to do? And so I start to ask, well, Jesus, why shouldn't I do that? What right do you have? Even though maybe just a few days before, I was just like that crowd of disciples, praising him in church. Everything was going great, and I was just honoring him and acknowledging him as God. But now that things have changed and he's asked me to do something different, I don't want to trust his authority. I find myself like Peter in Matthew chapter 16, when Jesus asks who they say that he is. The disciples all talk about who everybody else says that he is, but then Peter says, you are the Christ. You are the one who has come. And Jesus honors him with that. But then Jesus foretells of his death and his suffering. And Peter says, far be it from you, Lord, this will never happen. But then Jesus says to Peter, get behind me, Satan, for you are a hindrance to me. For you are not setting your mind on the things of God, but on the things of man. And how often do I set my mind on the things of man, the things that I want to do and not the things of God? I'm ultimately denying his authority in my life because of what I want to do. So church, I want to encourage you today, as we embark on this holy week, to trust in the authority of Jesus. In your life, there are so many things that we want from God. So often he answers us, but not the way that we want. Will we trust his authority? Will we do what he's calling us to do? Will we lean into his call on our lives? Church, I love you. I pray this week that we seek him, that we lean into his authority in our lives in whatever way he's calling us, that we would listen to his voice and obey his commands. I'm so thankful for you. I love you. I pray that you're doing well. I pray you have a great day.